Hello everyone. So today we are going to add some improvements to our grenade throwing system for enemy characters, AI characters, so that AI characters will throw grenades at the player or any other opponent. That could be another team, another AI character from another team as well. So they will not be overwhelming a particular character with grenades. So that means if one AI character throw a grenade at a particular target character, then only after a given period of time the same enemy character or another enemy character will throw a grenade at the target character. So the reason to implement that is, in that way, regardless of the number of enemies present in the scene, player will not be overwhelmed with grenades. So in this example I'm going to implement, I'm going to make sure that there will be at least 30 seconds gap between two grenade throws. So here is the demonstration. See, I get one grenade thrown at me, and now they are not throwing any grenades until at least 30 seconds so in another 30 seconds they will try to throw a grenade at me. See, now he is throwing a grenade, and again the next grenade will be thrown at me at least in another 30 seconds, not before that. So yeah. So for and one more thing is, for this we can't use a simple cooldown tag that we can add in the behavior tree, because if I just do that, then there is no coordination between different AI characters. So it will be a cooldown will be independent for each different AI character. So we are going to implement a shared way to implement that. And this episode is sponsored by these generous patrons. Thank you very much for your support. Right, so at the moment, if I go to the area that enemy can see me, they start shooting at me and throwing grenades and everything without any without giving any chance for the player. Like, they don't have any control. Like, all of them are independently trying to shoot at me. So instead of being it like that, it would be better if I have some kind of a control, like only 2 enemies are allowed to shoot at me in a given time, and also only grenade throwing is allowed only like once every 2 minutes, something like that. So I want to have such a rule. So so for that, just like before, we need to implement a way to communicate between different AI characters. If an AI character has already thrown a grenade, and if another AI character is going to throw a grenade, he should know, like, there should be a way to determine what's the last time a grenade is thrown at this particular character. It's not necessary to be the player character, it could be any other character as well, because we have this war mode where AI can fight AI. So yeah, that's what I want to implement today. So for that, let me open my main behavior tree and the grenade throwing happens in this shooting sub behavior tree. And here we have this throw grenade. This is the task. So if I open this, now all we have is we just get the target actor and determine the location, and we just throw the grenade. That's all. So the only control we have here is, I think we have this probability. This is the only thing that we have. So this probability based method is not scalable, but I mean not good enough, because if there are many AI characters, many enemies, there is a higher chance that the player will be overwhelmed by grenades. So therefore, for a higher number of enemy characters, we will have to reduce this probability. But then again, when there are less number of enemy characters in the scene, by reducing this probability, we might not get enough grenades thrown at the player. That's again a problem. So because of that, so that's why I'm saying this probability based grenade throwing, determining when to throw a grenade based on probability is not good enough. So let's go to our NPC manager. And here let's add the function can I throw grenade. So as an input, we need an actor reference. It should be target actor, and the return type should be a boolean. Yes, no. Right. So how do we determine if a grenade should be thrown at this target actor? So let's add a new variable, grenades thrown at. So I'm going to use this variable. This is obviously not going to be a boolean. This is going to be an actor. An actor array, because the reason is when the AI characters are fighting multiple enemies, there will not be just one enemy that they want to throw grenades at. So when we get a target actor, what we are going to check is, we can check if this grenade thrown at array already contains this target actor. If that is true, that means some enemy has thrown a grenade at this character. So if this is true, we can return a false. That means you are not allowed to throw a grenade. If this is false, we can return true with and also we have to add unique this a reference of this character into this array because once we allow some enemy to throw a grenade, next time if another enemy tries to throw a grenade, we should return false, because when this check goes through, this will return true. So because I have already added that character in the previous round into the array. Now what I'm planning to do is, after a while, this added target actor should be removed from this grenade thrown at array, so that after a while an enemy should be again able to throw a grenade at him. But before that, let's implement it this way. And so if this works, what should happen is, only once an enemy will be throwing a grenade to the player just to test. So after that, they will never be able to throw a grenade. Right, now we need a way to consume this function from this throw grenade task, but we don't have a direct reference to the NPC manager, but the pawn does have a reference to the NPC manager here. So just like before, we can add another interface method. Can I throw what's the function name? Can I throw grenade? Can I throw grenade? And let me put this under here. We need as an input vector reference target vector and return boolean yes or no. Right, now let's implement this in the ALS NPC. Can I throw grenade? So we do have NPC manager, but we can use this get NPC manager macro. It's just simply see if we have a valid reference to the NPC manager. If valid, this execution happens, otherwise this, and returns the NPC manager here. So if we don't have an NPC manager, that means character should be able to make the decision independently. That means throw the grenade whenever he wants, because he's not governed by any other factor. So if we do have a NPC manager, we can use can I throw grenade function on the NPC manager. And return what it says. Target actor is the target actor. Right. So now we can call this function can I throw a grenade using the CLM NPC interface from this task. Before, we throw a grenade. Okay. From the controlled pawn, can I throw grenade message? And target actor is this target actor reference. If we get yes, true, that means I can throw a grenade, so I'll throw a grenade. Otherwise, I can't throw a grenade, so we have to finish without throwing a grenade. Right, now if this is working correctly, an enemy will throw a grenade at me only once. Let's see. Yeah, that's the grenade thrown at me, and see, now no one is throwing a grenade at me. Right, okay, so the next thing is, after let's say 60 seconds or something, they should be able to throw a grenade at me again. So to implement that, we need to remove this added reference after a while. So let's create another event here. Remove GT element. So GT means grenade thrown at this array. The reason I didn't use the long name is this event will be have a much long name, so that's not good. But it's not clear. Remove GT element. Okay, so what's the time delay? After how long we should clear an element? So we should clear the first index, because whatever the element I added first should be removed first. So let's say delay could be let's expose the delay as a parameter. Right, now here we can call remove GT element as the duration. I'll set 30 seconds. This is more like a cooldown, but it's more than that. It's like a shared cooldown. Right, one grenade is thrown at me, and after 30 seconds someone else should throw a grenade. Right, see, here comes the next grenade. Great, so it does work as intended. So I'm gonna stop this episode right here. So just like this, I'm gonna implement this shared AI behaviors or working as a team dynamics into other aspects of the AI characters as well, such as taking covers and shooting, all those things, so that no two characters will try to take cover in the same location. Or we can also limit the number of enemies that shooting at one target at a given time. Also, we can associate such parameters with the difficulty level as well, so that we can adjust the number of enemies concurrent that can shoot simultaneously based on the difficulty level. And thanks for watching. So as always, project files will be available for the download in the Patreon page. Link would be in the description below, and if you like to support my work, you can get the membership of the Patreon club. See you in another episode. Goodbye.